This is Lisa from Linguist, and we are going to talk about the truth about language learning today. So first we're going to talk about what's not the truth. On the internet and in social media, you see people using apps like Duolingo, Rosetta Stone, Pimsleur. Those are probably the three most popular. I would love to hear from you guys if that's not the case. Additionally, I've used language transfer. Those are the most popular. You see people using them and I'm fluent. I know a lot of friends who did it, downtime at work on the ambulance, things like that. Most of those people do not become fluent. The truth that you don't see is after the initial enthusiasm of learning anything wears off, new tasks become challenging or routines become mundane. It's not the same rush you got when you first started. Yeah, I'm learning French. Grammar rules are difficult. Those of us born in the U.S. or born in English-speaking countries take for granted those things we learned as a little kid. Sometimes if you learn a sport at a young age, it's much easier than developing the same coordination and technique as an adult. It can be done. Start combat sports or boxing till I was almost 30. I probably had to work 4 times harder than if I had started at 6 or 8 years old for sure. What you don't see and what the truth is you have to drill grammar, learn sentence structure, sometimes learn a new script. Like for example, for learning Arabic, that's the first time I've had to learn a different way to write, which I am beginner with that. Like it's super hard. It's worth it in the end. But does it take a long time? Absolutely. Speak with native speakers. You find out your 2 to 3 months of practicing in an app that made you feel fantastic didn't teach you much. You'll find out when using speech in real time at a real speed with a person that speaks this language without even thinking about it, that there's a lot to be desired. And that's the case. A lot of people fall off around that point. It's not the financial investment. There's enough free resources now where a person can become quite fluent or quite versed and study to a deep level without having a lot of money or fancy equipment. Don't need a fancy camera. You can get your books for free. You can often get apps for free. And then language teaching can be economical depending on what you use and where you go to get it. But the real truth is it's hard, it can be a struggle, it can be a sacrifice, it can take time, commitment, planning. If it's something just for fun, then let it be that. But if you actually want to gain skills and proficiency in that language, having a positive attitude is the first step, having a plan is the second step. In many of my videos, I talk about setting short-term goals, SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable, and time-specific. Breaking down, maybe instead of, oh God, I'm going to learn all in Spanish, you're going to learn the past tense this weekend, for example, and then you're going to practice it. But if you get into situations, whether it's in-person classes, online classes, language platforms like Italki or Preply, or some other type of tutoring, adult schools, that would get you there. But the truth about language learning is that it's hard and it can be a struggle and it's not always fun, but the rewards are abundantly worth it to get to connect with people, meet new people, learn new things, have great experiences, and become a better, more fluent language speaker. This is Lisa from Linguist. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me if you've ever experienced the struggle that is language learning.